Hey, good morning out there, Spiritual Underground podcast viewers. Don't know how to address you all. Got to do better looking at that camera. So, hey, my name is Dan, and I am the host of Spiritual Underground podcast. I am also the owner of DTM Enterprises. We'll meld these two things together and to carry this 12-step message through my woodworking also and other services. Thank y'all for listening today. I made a commitment to myself to put out new content on the podcast every week. So far, I've been doing that all of 2019. We're towards coming up on the tail end of June, and as a matter of fact, I have content for the rest of June. So I have made good on that commitment, and it shows in the listeners and stuff too. So we've got a lot of listens and a lot of listeners. So thank you all for doing that. If you all migrated back and forth, looking at heading into this whole thing, this video element. So wanting to get that going. It's funny because I feel like I'm looking through something, like I got a wall up when I have my glasses on. I've been wearing contacts more and more lately. Whoa, Skeeter. Anyway, take those off for just a second while I talk to you. I still need to put a spot on my camera so that I know exactly where to look at because I continue to want to look at me. Where was I going? What's up with me? Took my dad to the hospital on Father's Day. He had been dealing with this foot wound for quite some time and had it healing up and everything, and then it went south on him again. Turned out he had a big 3/4 inch long, like a wire brush bristle up in his foot, and kind of made him go septic. He was really sick Father's Day, high fever, shivering, aches and pains all over. Got him in the hospital. They checked him out, run all kinds of tests, found that damn piece of metal. Pulled it out, got the right kind of antibiotics according to the cultures and what was growing in him. And he come home last night, and this morning the home health gal come by and helped me learn to administer IV antibiotics, which I need to do for the next 10 days. He's cool. All's well. Matter of fact, just a few minutes ago, we got his IV in him. I went up and checked him out before I come out to the shop, make sure everything's okay. He's putting on his clothes. He's getting ready to go to have coffee. He don't really drink coffee, but that's what he says he's doing. He's going over there with his buddies at some restaurant, and sit around and shoot the stuff. He hasn't seen him in a week, and usually they call me wanting to know where he's at, but I haven't heard anything from him. What else? Adding some services to DTM Enterprises. So I've always done my own handyman work. My dad taught me to fix just about anything. The kids will tell you, Dad can fix anything. My dad really can fix just about anything. So I've added that service onto here. Yesterday I was at a house, a realtor friend of mine, and there's a door, a bathroom door that was like self-closing, and the dog had gone in the bathroom and got trapped, and it scratched through the hollow core door and scratched through the door casing trying to get out, poor thing. And so that's not very attractive for selling your new house, is have that tore up door. So I went over and tore out the old door, put a new one in. They also had a privacy fence issue. The gate was not shutting right. They had to sling a rubber strap around it to hold it shut, and it was dragging on the ground. It was dragging in the jam, and got that shored up and operating properly. So you need anything like that, I can do light plumbing, light electric. Talk to me. I don't know about licenses and stuff like that. I know if I'll get too far into like a plumbing electric that you're gonna need to have some kind of thing. I'll have to shore up my stuff there. But the light in the sides, contact me, holler at me if I can do that. Another thing I've been doing is some refinishing. Have somebody want some doors refinished, wooden entry doors. Checking that job out. Another thing is refinishing furniture. Have a guy who's got an old piece of antique furniture that's been in her family forever. This is almost a preservation project more than a restoration. The drawer's not working right, so I'll go in there and I'll restore and fix that, shore that up so that the drawer's working right, and strip it and refinish it and get it back into working order. It's been in the family for a long, long time, and it's not going to come up to like museum quality, but it will. We can restore it. We can get it looking better, and we can get it to where she can continue to use it. Maybe pass it on to her kids. So restoration services, refinishing services, handyman work, anything like that. The reason I'm doing all that is to bring you this. I'm on a new path today. My livelihood has changed. I'm not making my money the way that I used to make it. So I'm trading that in for this, and my whole goal here is that I can do this and still carry this 12-step message the way that I can. And that's why I want to keep the Spiritual Underground podcast and this DTM Enterprises melded in the YouTube world, so that it is, you do understand it's one and the same, and that the goals of each are in alignment with one another. I get to do something that's close to my heart, that's in alignment with my soul, and at the same time carry the 12-step message, which is also in alignment with my soul. So I got a few things going on, and I started to get some gifts. Some gifts that are at that end of the shop, and show them to you. But they're gifts for somebody I'm pretty sure watches these YouTube channels, so I'm not going to get them out on here. But I do have another project going on here, which is another gift for somebody on order, and it's something that I do. I make quite a few of them. I have two different ways of doing this, and if you see, just taking this piece of pine on DTMWW.net, I got some spiritual properties of wood, and I ask people if they want their thing made out of. If they don't know what they want it made out of, I ask them to go out there, and if something jives with them, then they pick it. And this person wanted pine. Pine is a wood. It's the wood of peace. So and you can go out there and read about it if you want to. So they picked that. And I'm going to put his name and her name, his significant other's name in here, and their date, whatever that is. I don't, it's their date, and their child's name and her date, her birth date is down here. So I'm gonna carve that in here. I've got this Dremel tool that I have got the cable drive on it. The actual motor hangs up there, so it hangs here, and it makes it real easy to use. And I also have a foot pedal down on the floor that step on to turn this thing on. So I can just carve away. Makes it really handy. So I'm gonna do a little of that in a minute. I'll carve in here. I'll take my wood burner and burn in the letters after I've carved them to make them pop out right. So that'll all happen here in a minute. I think that's about all. Trying to carry this message. Had a friend, I guess acquaintance. I didn't know him real well, but I knew him a little bit. Found out he passed away. In my world, if you passed away in these young, I don't think he's maybe in his early 30s, maybe. If you pass away today like that, he's in my world. He's either suicide or overdosed. I'm not sure which one of those it is, but it breaks my heart because I'm pretty sure there was a young person in his life, but if it was a niece or something like that, now doesn't have an uncle, parents don't have a kid, and this disease is taking one more life. And that's what I mean about this DTM Enterprises funding this, carrying of this 12-step message, and through some collaboration with my sponsor, Christopher Cohn, and his book 12-Step Spiritual Recovery, which you can get on Amazon, carrying this 12-step message to everybody who could possibly need some tools to improve the quality of their lives. There's also so like my woodworking, my restoration, my handyman. If you want new stuff made, my staple ohm symbols. I still like this one. I've got some more wood for these. This is barn wood. It's got that old weathered surface on it. It's cool. I actually have another one here too that's, see if I can get that balance back up there. Got one I'm getting ready to start on. That is zebra wood. Real fancy stuff, exotic. I don't know where it comes from, Africa, I think. I'm not sure, but it's a really dense, and it's going to make a really pretty piece. All that is to fund this 12-step carrying message, man. That's what I'm doing, is so that I can have that podcast. The podcast now, if you'll go out to Anchor, it has a Fund Me page on it, button. If you would like to send some money to help fund this effort, that's where I'm headed today, is to do that, to start, frankly, making an income, carrying my livelihood through my woodwork, and which the woodwork to fund the carrying of the 12-step message. Seems like I had something else to say. Safety gear, got this stuff going on, so when I'm protect my lungs. quit smoking a long time ago, quit dipping 617 days ago, I think it is. So quit putting that stuff in my body and start using this as a really good filter for the dust. And then it also has some cartridges if I'm doing finish work, if I'm doing polyurethane or anything like that. I can switch these out so I'm not breathing those vapors. Safety glasses, hearing protection, get these out. I'm gonna do a little carving, then I'm gonna pause this thing, try to start getting this video element out. I maybe did or didn't say, but I've committed to putting out those weekly episodes on the Spiritual Underground podcast. I'm gonna commit to putting weekly videos out on the Spiritual Underground podcast YouTube channel. What's going on with me, what's going on in the wood shop, do a little cross promotion, and maybe even interview some folks as we're out on moving around through life and get them on the YouTube channel. So, do a little carving, and I'll be back, and maybe you can see the finished product. I'll be patching these things together. I got some software now that allow me to edit the videos. That's how I put together the Spiritual Underground podcast, the audio only with the Spiritual Underground podcast image on the screen. So have some editing software. We just march along slowly, right? The listenership on the podcast keeps growing. The listens and the listeners, two different metrics, keeps growing, and just tickled to death to be able to do what I'm doing today. Coffee. Rainy old Saturday morning, we'll get to carving. I think that'll give you the point of what's going on, so I will let you go from here and finish this up. Peace out. All right, that's looking good. Need to fire up the wood burner. I'll color it in, make it pop. I'll put a keyhole in the back of it to hang it on the wall, and it'll be ready to go. So I'm gonna ask the favors of you. All this social media, all this platforms of this nature are all driven on subscriptions, likes, ratings, reviews. If you're just sitting there not doing any of that, nobody knows that you like this stuff. So please go to Apple, to go to your podcast provider, specifically Apple. I would like you to do there. I don't even think you have to have an Apple device to be able to do that. I think you can go out there and do that on anywhere. You may not be able to do it from an Android device, I'm not sure, but you can go to iOS and review a podcast, I'm pretty sure. So anyway you can do that, please do it. Rate, review, same thing, subscribe. DTM Woodwork is on Facebook and on Instagram. Spiritual Underground Podcast is on, and it's Spiritual Underground is on Instagram and Facebook. I'll put the links to it down under the video in the show notes. DTMWW.net is my website for the woodworking. Spiritual Underground org, spiritualunderground.org is the website for the podcast. You can go there and see show notes, a contact me page, all that. This review and rating thing is how the world works in this new era. So if you're not doing that, please, I just beg of you. Same thing with Christopher Cohn's book out there, 12-Step Spiritual Recovery. But if you've bought the book, I think you have to actually buy the book to be able to leave a review. I'm not certain of that, but I think you do. Go out there, even if you haven't read the whole thing, go out there, review what you've read to date. Give five. I would just give him a 5-star rating. Give me a 5-star rating on iTunes, and give him a 5-star rating and review it to date. You can actually come back later and add to it. So if you want to give your initial impression, you can do that, and you can come back later on and add to it. It'll let you edit your review. So please do that. Like, subscribe, all that kind of cool stuff. Christopher's website is 12stepspiritualrecovery.com. I'll try to remember to put that down there in the show links too. That's where you can find out more about that movement. So thank you all for allowing me to participate in my recovery today. Thank you for watching me here. Thank you for listening to the podcast. The listeners are growing, the listens are growing. I'm just humbled and amazed that I get to do this stuff today. Thank y'all. Peace out.